Singular lady and gentlemen, all of you, because I know there's a lot of lads listening. We are now at a benchmark area. Like, we're at episode 10. This is historic, but...
It is historic. Who would have thought we made it this far?
I mean, I did.
Not the haters.
I mean, here's what I got to say.
Not the haters. Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to the haters.
It's time to rip them with a riff, per se. Well, all I gotta say is, after this weekend of football, I need to pray. I don't know who I need to pray to, whether it's a God or it's the Saints. But it'll all make sense in a second. Because the thing is, the New Orleans Saints, they're going to be just like your rod on a night out on a Saturday when you come home alone. And that was cranked.
Oh. Whoa!
But this has just been a weekend of a lot of upsets. A lot of upsets. I mean, who would have thought the Cardinals would smoke the Rams like that? The Ravens, they lost to the Raiders.
Not even a weekend. It's been 2 weeks of NFL football full of upsets.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's actually unprecedented, in fact. I'm pretty sure through 2 weeks, teams that have like a 6 or higher 6-point spread have all covered. So it's been a season so far for the dogs. For the dogs.
For the dogs.
And currently we are watching, this is currently Thursday night. The Thursday night football game just started. We got Patriots versus Jets. So
yeah,
another dog could cover it.
A real barn burner.
A real barn burner. The Battle of New York and New England.
Yeah. Well, starting with the first, I mean, could you let's hear you out on this.
Let's hear me out.
Cowboys, Saints. I mean, I feel like America, the majority, over 50%, had the Dallas Cowboys beating the New Orleans Saints. Clearly, that was not the case because the New Orleans Saints came out and they absolutely smoked Dallas at home, dropping 40-plus points, which is the second week in a row they dropped over 40. And, you drop 40 on the Panthers. That's something where you kind of look at it and you're like, that makes a little sense. They're a bad team. But then you drop 40 on the Dallas Cowboys, who have one of the better top 10. I don't even think it's up for debate. Top 10 defenses in all of football.
Maybe the best defensive player in football on their defense as well. Yeah. It's, hey, man. Derek Carr looks great.
Alvin Kamara.
Looks great.
Dog. Rashid Shaheed. What did I say? Raheed. My apologies, Rashid. Rashid Shaheed. Say that 3 times fast. That's
Rashid Shaheed. It's not that hard.
It's a figure of speech. Funny old boy, old guy. But yeah, I mean, that guy's he's got wheels on him. I remember I used to pick him up in Madden franchises because that guy was just so fast. He was so good to have because, easy 1,000-yard receiver every year in my Madden franchises. Pro Bowler, Hall of Famer.
Well, I mean, Derek Carr has scored on every possession he's touched the ball. He's scored points for the Saints. I think there was a little point maybe a couple episodes ago where you said Derek Carr ass. I believe. Okay. Check the shorts.
I said it.
Check the shorts.
I think he regresses back to the mean.
Yeah, no, we had his prediction. He goes, and I quote, he says, "The Cowboys are going to decimate the Saints." That was the quote. Quote of the week. And that certainly did not happen. I was on a little bit of a lads golf trip this past weekend, so I did not get to watch any of the noon games, but I was following along, and don't you worry, I was letting them know my thoughts out there on the golf course. But yeah, wow, Saints back? Question mark.
It's too early to tell. The thing about 2 weeks in, like the Patriots, they're 1-1, and people are like, oh, they're going to be decent.
They're frisky.
They're not.
They're frisky. Patriots are a frisky team.
What do you define frisky?
Frisky? Frisky means
he's thinking about it because he doesn't even know.
No, frisky means you're not gonna be over 500, but you're a team that could come out and dominate a game, like we saw with Ramondre Stevenson in week 1.
Okay.
And in week 2, they took the Seahawks to overtime and lost in overtime. Frisky means you're not a great team, but you're a team that can win any given day. If the Patriots get the running game going in this game against the Jets, I think it's good night Jets.
You know what the word frisky really makes me think of? Mr. Shannon Sharp.
Shannon
Are you
Sharp,
familiar with
yes.
the situation?
Yes, of course.
He was he was pretty vocal. He went on IG Live and he tried to say he got hacked, but then eventually he just owned it. He's like,
It wasn't, so the story, like...
He owned it though.
I know, it wasn't him that put down the story though.
Oh, I know.
It was his manager, or like one of his, whoever like runs his, like has access to his Instagram
I
account.
thought it was on live, so it was just happening.
Yeah,
to
it
people
was
in the
on
chat.
live. It was on live, but then the post after he's like, "Oh, got hacked." He put down his story. That was his manager.
Yeah, I figured you gotta
Yeah.
do damage. I mean, that's just.
Cause I mean, no, he. Hey, the only thing you can do in that situation is own it, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing else you can do about that. So,
It sounded like he was doing one hell of a
No,
job.
it was great. Like he went
It was
on.
great.
He had like the commentary
Yeah.
between him and Ocho. They do that. I don't know what their podcast is called, but they do a podcast, and Shannon Sharp literally just spilled all the beans. He's like, "Yeah, I was engaging in a healthy male activity. Accidentally somehow got on live, and then he said during the occurrence of what was going on,
The cheeks clap.
the cheeks clapping. He said his phone was blowing up, and he was like, "What the heck's going on?" And then people were calling him. People were FaceTiming him that like never FaceTimed before. He said, "What the heck's going on?" So he finally answered when he goes, "Dude, like you're on live right now." He's like, "What do you mean?" Like angrily, he's like, "Dude, we can hear you." He's like, "What the hell do you mean?" He's like, "We can. Sounds like you're having sex." He's like, "Oh shit." So then his manager posts on his story like Instagram got hacked. But then later in the podcast, he just owned it all. He was like, "You know what? It is what it is." He said, like, as soon as that happened, he called ESPN. He told him, he called, like, his agent. He called everybody. He's like, "Hey, I made a mistake."
I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Just own it. Who cares?
Exactly. It was,
You know what that's called?
whatever.
That is called the Donald Trump approach. You try to call that man out, all he says is, "Yeah, who cares? So what?" And then you can't defeat a man who doesn't give a single shit.
But it's also not like it's not like there was any video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just audio, so.
No, I know.
It is what it is. Funny situation, but props to Shannon Sharp for owning it. I love that guy.
Imagine being like a 12-year-old teenager. You see him on like First or ESPN all the time, and you're like, "Oh boy, Shannon Sharp. He's got a nice little video. Let's see what he's got to talk about." And then all of a sudden you go in the video, then you just hit puberty right then and there.
Yeah, that's it.
It's over. The process is expedited,
Oh my
pal.
God. Yeah. That was funny. Respect though for owning it.
You
respect
gotta respect the guy.
Yeah,
For that.
exactly. It is what it is. I think let's move on to some more football talk. We talked about let's hear what you have to say about your Cowboys. Look at the camera and tell them that you're sorry.
I'm not gonna apologize. You can't apologize for being a loyal fan. But what I will say is, I'd rather have this kind of loss happen in week 2 than in the postseason, because every team is gonna have a game where they get the shit kicked out of them, and
Yeah.
how you adjust and how, like last year the Cowboys, we lost to Josh Dobbs led Cardinals, and then we picked it up after that. Like, there's going to be tough losses. This is the National Football League, so as long as they bounce back and they stay consistent, I mean, the Ravens are the real threat coming up this weekend. I think that's gonna be a good game.
And I think it's tough for the Cowboys too, because it's like you don't want to catch the Ravens on too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, the offense didn't look bad. There was one point where Dak seemed to go on autopilot when the game was just clearly out of reach, and then the defense it was embarrassing. There was like
It was a bad
5-6 drives in a row with a
bad
touchdown scored.
Yeah.
Like no one was winning. the game.
No. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, Derek Carr looked great.
Dak Prescott got a lot of hate for that, which did make sense to me, just because he had a pretty solid game going into half.
Didn't he throw a pick?
Part of it. I mean, yeah, one of them, the receiver straight up just fell. Like, he was running for the route, reaching up, and just fell.
Yeah.
And then one of them was in the triple coverage.
Yeah.
So that one is completely on him. One of them is not. But a pick's a pick.
Yeah.
In the history books, that's how it's going to go down.
It shows he is an interception, so.
Derek Carr did throw dots, though. I will have to admit.
Dude, he's looked good. Dennis Allen looks like could be turning the team around. But yeah, Kamara looks like 5 years ago Kamara. You know what I mean? Like, he looks fresh. That's the best guy, in my opinion, in the league, like, in terms of contact balance.
Yeah.
Like, he takes a hit, he has such good balance. Like he stays centered and he just keeps moving. So he's very patient too.
I agree with you on that one.
They look good. They look good.
Yeah, I mean the key to the Saints having a good offense this year, in my opinion, is you got guys who are just complete freaks of nature, like Rashid Shaheed and then Alvin Kamara, and
they got Olave too.
Yeah, I mean he's not he's a good receiver, but a freak of nature, in my opinion, is just a guy who's super shifty, super athletic, super fast.
Mm-hmm.
Just a guy like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, the key to the Saints' success, in my opinion, is they just got to run short passes. Like they were running a lot of delayed screens and just like short passes to either.
That's how they had
or
success
Kamara.
with Drew Brees.
Yeah, exactly.
Drew Brees' arm went fucking kaput. Mm-hmm. So that's why Kamara was like the best PPR fantasy player ever. You know what I mean? Like you could rely on him to get like 8 catches a game.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh well. I think it's gonna be a tough game. I would rather be facing the 2-0 Ravens than the 0-2 Ravens. That's what I'll say.
I don't know.
Where's the game?
We'll see. I'm pretty sure it's in Baltimore.
It's gonna be a tough one.
I'm gonna check really quick. You keep talking about your thoughts on that game while I check.
Well, I think we've talked about it. I mean, yeah, that's just poor performance from the Cowboys. I expect them to bounce back, but
it's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas, okay.
Yeah, after they just got embarrassed by a 40 bomb at home.
Right.
I could see them coming out real competitive, real fired up.
That's what I'm thinking for the Baltimore Ravens.
Hopefully, Jake Ferguson is back too. Because when your number 2 target on offense is out, that's not very helpful.
Oh, it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they gotta wake up next week. So do the Ravens, though.
Yeah, that should be 2
we might as well,
Giants.
We might as well talk about that game.
I think it's either going to go one of 2 ways, to be honest with you.
No, I'm talking about the Ravens versus Raiders of last
week. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me give my quick prediction.
Okay.
I think the Ravens-Cowboys is either going to be the Cowboys barely etch out a win, or the Cowboys lose by like 15 to 20.
I just think the Ravens are going to be fired up to...
I think the Cowboys are going to be fired up.
Yeah, no, they're both going to be fired up. It should be a good game.
I hope so. I just sure hope so. I don't want to have to wash my jersey again this week.
Yeah. He doesn't like to do laundry.
I do laundry once a week. I've done laundry once a week every year since I was in 8th grade.
The jersey has been washed.
Mm-hmm. Brock Bowers, dog.
Yeah.
Dog. I told everyone Brock Bowers is going to be good.
Yeah, no, he had a fantastic game. 9 catches, 98 yards. Gronk said today, there's a clip of him on Kay Adams' show, who said he thinks Brock Bowers is going to have a better career than him.
Oof.
I think that all depends on Brock's quarterback situation over these next couple of years.
Yeah, my thing too is with Gronk, obviously phenomenal pass catcher, phenomenal when the ball gets in his hands. But the biggest thing about Gronk compared to a lot of tight ends right now in today's game is Gronk was like a 10 out of 10 blocker.
Yeah.
That guy could do anything you needed him to do.
He was all around, just like Kittle. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Gronk had superior receiving skills to Kittle and whatnot. But yeah, he said that he made a bold prediction. Said that if it looks like Brock Bowers could have a better career than himself.
I don't like to say that, but at the same time, I do really think that Brock Bowers is going to have a good NFL career.
Yeah, no, I think he's going to have a great NFL career.
He's going to at least make a Pro Bowl at the bare minimum.
Yeah, for sure.
Anything less than that is a failure of a career.
Well,
for his talent.
They also drafted Michael Mayer last year from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think he was either a first round or a second round pick last year.
I think he went a pick or 2 before Kincaid.
So he's like, they got a young tight end duo over there.
Ah, sounds
reminiscent
like
of something.
Yeah, it reminds you of Gronky with less murder.
Yes. But going back to the game overall, the most surprising point for me in that game. Do you know how many rushing yards the leading rusher on the Raiders had? Take a guess.
The way you're asking me this question, it sounds very low. I'm gonna go 28.
24.
Actually?
24 yards for Zamir White. They had less than 30 as a team, and they ended up winning 26-23. Minshew.
Dog.
Not bad.
Yeah, you can't hate Minshew. He's
Not
the
bad at
epitome
all.
of journeyman.
He's a journeyman.
Journeyman.
But yeah, I think the Raiders players love their coach.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
I don't even remember. I remember they tried to poach him last year, a couple teams, and he's like, "No, I'm playing here. They gave me the chance. I'm staying until
He
I
was the
lose it."
special teams coordinator and then took over for.
He was a linebacker on the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
When
I
they
forget.
were-
Sorry,
yeah.
his name is skipping my brain. However, yeah, I think they love playing for him, and it's good to see the Raiders be good. You know what I mean? Not good, but
I like it.
competitive. I like the Raiders. That could be a flag. Yep.
Ooh. Little bit of unnecessary roughness. It looks like they're scrappy a little.
But yeah, Minshew went 30 for 38, 275 yards, touchdown, and a pick. But yeah, they had a good game.
Yeah.
Ravens had a bad game.
Yeah. I would say the Ravens are a lot better than 0-2.
They're a lot. Yeah, exactly. And everybody knows that. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that. I feel like the Ravens typically start the season slow, so they could start 0-3. Like, yeah. So we'll see.
I hope.
I hope for
That means
your
we start
sake.
2-1.
Yeah, you hope so.
In other NFL news, Tua Tagovailoa. That's something we got to talk very heavily on, I think.
Yeah. That sucks, man.
It does.
Like,
Right when you saw the arm go up, you're like, oh, God.
yeah.
I mean,
That was just brutal. I mean, yeah, prayers up for Tua, but it sucks because like the Dolphins could be they have such a good offense. They have so many good skill position players like Tua. He led the league in passing last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, in yards.
Dak
led touchdowns.
We won't forget that, Brian.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the third time now, or the second time that he's been like on the ground where he's throwing that involuntary signal like with his hands. So that's just really tough to see that.
It really is. I know a lot of people are calling for his retirement. Mike McDaniels basically just was like, "Hey, no, we don't need to talk about that, but no, you do need to talk about that."
No, and it's being talked about.
That was bad. That was bad what happened to him, and that happened twice. And then they mismanaged him the first time, where they let him go out there and get concussed the week after. Mm-hmm. That is just unacceptable.
Yeah.
I'm glad they learned from their mistakes at the bare minimum, and he's going to miss, guaranteed 4 games because he's on the IR?
Something like that.
Yeah,
4 games, but, I mean, no, he's like visiting neurologists this week and the next couple of weeks, but at the end of the day, the neurologist can tell him whatever, but at the end of the day, it's his decision.
It is.
Right?
They have insurance on his contract, though. So if he were to go down and have to medically retire, the Dolphins would actually get cap space. So that's why the insurance policies on big contracts are pretty good.
Well, this
Someone
is
got
also
boned
the thing.
last year from
This
it,
is
right?
also the thing about like football, which is like you're happy that Tua got a contract. You got a big contract. Now it's not a money thing. It's a health thing for him. So
it is.
It's completely 100% his decision. He will have experts and people telling him things, but you know what? I personally think he's gonna come back and play because he's played football his whole life. That's all he does. That's all he knows.
But
it's a decision he really has to think about.
If he can think anymore.
Well, he can think.
His brains are partially mush at this point.
Well,
with all due respect.
No, I know. I mean, like we've seen what happened. Like Jim McMahon,
Junior Seau.
Yeah.
Junior Seau killed himself by shooting himself in like the heart, so they could use his brain to study.
Right.
Touchdown Jets.
Lazard. He was not on my bingo card for first touchdown, unfortunately.
He was on mine a little bit. Dude, he's Rogers. He's one of Rogers' favorite
I know,
targets.
but first touchdown, Oh well.
Yeah.
That was a good drive by the Jets.
Junior Seau. Similar thing where there's a lot of head injuries, a lot of brain damage. So I mean, at least we're in a year in the NFL where people are starting to wear those caps just to help their heads a little bit. And people are going to laugh at them, but after that Tua thing, I bet more people are going to start wearing them.
I don't know how you can laugh at somebody for that.
I mean, the internet will laugh at Like that Kevin kid. Happy Saturday, guys! Is that a mozzarella stick from McDonald's?
Dude.
Is that a mozzarella stick? And then you look at the comments and it says, Kevin, you don't need any more McDonald's, and he's like 8 years old.
I don't even know if he's 8 yet.
Dude, that kid's like he's not even 10 years old.
That little guy. But yeah, no, it's completely into his the ball's in his court, as they say.
He needs to be intuitive.
Yeah. So no surprise that the Dolphins ended up losing that game.
What is it? Skylar Thompson's the backup.
Yeah, it was not like horrible, but I mean, he started a playoff game.
Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
Tua would have loved to play that, but
yeah. So that's tough. Hopefully, who knows? Who knows? Realistically, we have no idea. He could never take another snap in the NFL.
we don't know. But just a few headliners based off of this previous Vikings 49ers game. So I'll give two little notes before we talk about the game. One, Justin Jefferson. He was asked about Garrett Wilson in the 49ers previously, kind of before the matchup, and they asked how he thought he would do, and he said, and I quote, "Respectfully, I am not Garrett Wilson." And he proved that because he had a very, very long 90-plus yard touchdown, went absolutely off. And then in other news, the Niners are just getting destroyed by injuries. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, Madden Curse sufferer, got it on the cover, and then now he's on the IR. And George Kittle, hurt. Debo, hurt. It's not looking good for the Niners, but the Niners are a very deep team.
They are very deep, and they have great coaching to get them through this tough period. But I mean, dude, Mason looks fantastic. Jordan Mason, he looks great. He had another 100-yard game and a touchdown. Yeah, it was a tough loss for the Niners, but
it was. I mean, the Vikings look a lot better than anyone would thought after losing Kirk Cousins. Darnold kind of looks legit.
I think kind of what you said about Derek Carr.
Exactly.
I think it's going to be a very similar thing for the Vikings. I do not think they're going to make the playoffs this year.
Like Josh Dobbs mania last year.
Right, exactly. I mean, it takes teams a little bit of time to figure out, some stuff about opposing teams and their playbooks and whatnot, but I think teams will start figuring out Sam Darnold. But yeah, I mean, going back, dude, Mason looks fantastic. He runs hard. He
does. But I mean, that's just the Niners' identity. They know that McCaffrey is good, but that you can't run McCaffrey 40 times a game.
No.
You can't run him a bunch. So they know, just out of necessity for that team to be successful in the long term, they need a good backup running back who's exactly what Mason is. So kudos to the front office of the Niners for getting a guy like that who is clearly coming to play when they need him the most.
He's showed up in a big way.
Again, another upset. Vikings over the Niners.
Yeah. Yeah, that touchdown was nuts from Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's stat line is pretty nuts.
He ran over 100 yards total from that entire...
he had 133 yards on 4 catches and a touchdown. But I mean, that just shows you why you pay a guy like him.
Yeah.
Because he gets open. He gets open deep downfield and he makes the catch. You know what I mean? He's fast, he's quick, he's agile, he makes those catches, and he gets open. So you pay your receivers. Pay your elite receivers.
He runs horizontally, too. It's the guy will go catch the ball, and it looks kind of hopeless, and then all of a sudden, he just cuts across field at a sharp angle without gaining yards, and he goes all the way up. He's just... Justin Jefferson is when healthy, consistently on the field, because the best ability, in my opinion, is availability.
The best ability is availability.
It is.
Right.
So if he's playing a full season,
which he was not available last year.
Yeah, he
screwed me in fantasy football. I had him in first overall pick, and he played 5 games all year.
It's unfortunate. I mean, he almost had a 1,000-yard season last year, not even missing all those games. So.
Oh well.
You love and you hate it. But yeah. Jordan Addison is a good guy to have too, but I think he's battling through some injuries.
Oh yeah.
But. Surprised that the Vikings lost.
Incredibly.
If I would have put all my money on that game, I would have been the Niners.
Yeah.
But upset city. And then
staying in the NFC North, another upset city, the Buccaneers, going to D-Town, taking the dub from Detroit. Is Baker elite?
Yes. Baker Mayfield is good. He's always been good. He was just on a terribly ran Browns team for all these years. I don't know why they gave up on him like that.
I don't know, but I mean, elite. I said elite. You said good.
He's elite.
He's elite.
He's elite. He won a playoff game last year.
He did win a playoff game last year.
Yeah, it's a good team, Eagles.
Yeah. Well, the Eagles were
Falling apart.
Falling apart.
Mhm.
Falling apart.
You're right on that one.
They were falling apart.
But I mean, Baker, that's a guy who he was getting thrown around. They had him run a D line at some practices for the Panthers. Then they're like, you know what? Stafford's hurt. We need a guy to play a few games.
For the Rams, right?
Yeah, they throw him in there. Barely even a week of. Barely knows anything.
He gets a dub in
Goes out
prime
there
time.
and gets a dub. Yeah.
In prime time.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield's a dog. You love a quarterback that drops his shoulder, too, when there's contact.
Right.
He does not give a shit. I love it.
No, Baker's awesome. Yeah, it was surprising, though, because, I mean, like, Jared Goff had 55 throwing attempts. 55.
No touchdowns, 2 picks.
307 yards. So, they just had a problem with scoring. Like, they just couldn't get in the end zone.
I think that's just a one-game thing.
And then, psychopath Dan Campbell did another fake punt, like, on his own 20, and he got it. That guy's insane, man.
He is.
But, like, we saw it, like, it ends up costing him.
Mhm.
It ends up, like, you know,
They would have been in the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
punted one time out of all those fakes.
Exactly, dude. So,
I mean,
Crazy.
what are you going to do about it?
I picked the Lions in my Survivor pool last week, which crushed me.
Man, that's
But
awesome.
the Survivor pool is not looking good because the Ravens were the most picked team last week, too. So they took a loss. So it's a crazy season so far.
It is. Another NFC team, the Cardinals. We got Marvin Harrison
Wow.
Jr.
He was
going
awesome.
absolutely off after it seemed Kyler Murray threw him under the bus and said it's not my job to get him the ball. And then he clearly showed it is his job to get him the ball. And in the first quarter, he had 2 touchdowns on some pretty good plays.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray looked outstanding. That's exactly what I didn't know if he was lose a step or not after the ACL injury, but it looked like he was back to exactly what he was. Kyler Murray is a sneaky dark horse MVP pick.
Dark horse.
I said dark horse.
He said something different than that. He said
No, I meant to say
horse.
dark horse.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, he's always been, like, yeah, he's a great quarterback.
Mhm.
And people hate on him for being so small and whatnot, but, like, dude, he's so shifty. Which show, like, people are, another small quarterback, Bryce Young, who just got benched.
Different players.
Different players.
Different players.
They were both, was Kyler Murray the number 1 overall pick? I believe he was.
Number
3?
he might have been number 3 in the MLB. I think he's number 1 in the MLB or NFL.
But yeah, he's my fantasy. I expected him to have a good season this year. Even last year when he played, they had nobody. They had nobody on they had no receiving core. They had Zach Ertz and
Zach
Hollywood
Ertz,
Brown, and he played really well last year after coming back from his injury. So I expected them to be. I don't know. I mean, I think I gave my definition of frisky earlier. I think they're even more than frisky.
I think they're a sneaky playoff team.
Sneaky.
They just
playoff.
dominated the Rams, who, in my opinion, are a playoff team. But it's also divisional football.
Divisional football is different.
It is.
But yeah, no, they looked really good.
Some of the plays.
And on the other hand, the Rams looked really bad. But
Yeah.
they're also dealing with a lot of injuries.
Yeah, they are.
Puka and Cooper Kupp are now out.
That is tough. They have no one to throw to. No more white boys to throw to.
No more Van Jefferson either.
That's tough.
So they've got a couple, randos, but
We'll see. All I know is Kyler Murray, some of the plays in the pocket that guy made were unbelievable.
I know.
You see the one where he was scrambling around, he dodged everyone, pulled up to the sideline, wall falling, throws it to Harrison just wide open. It's unreal. It's honestly art.
He's fantastic.
He is.
He's good. He's good. He's a sleeper MVP pick.
I agree.
For sure. No doubt about that.
Chat, clip that.
Sleeper MVP pick.
Kyler Murray is in fact a sleeper MVP pick.
He is.
We agree.
Another sleeper MVP pick. I don't even know if you can call him a sleeper, but going to move on to talk about the Sunday night game, my Chicago Bears.
Caleb Williams, sleeper MVP?
No,
Huh?
C.J. Stroud.
I don't know if that's a sleeper.
In his second year in the NFL?
I don't think that's a sleeper.
In his second year in the NFL, he looks amazing.
But he looked amazing in his rookie year. That's why I don't think he's a sleeper.
I understand that, but
Explain
saying-
why he's a sleeper. I'll hear you out.
because he's a second-year quarterback and he's competing against the likes of Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes, like, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's why I said I don't know if he's a sleeper.
Okay.
He may or may not be a sleeper, but I don't think he's on everybody's radar of like top 5 MVP picks.
I do. I'll give my reasoning. You ready?
Why?
So, it was only, 2 years ago? Where the Houston Texans had the number 2 pick, or they had the number 3 and they traded up. They had the 2 and 3. They had to trade to the 2nd or the 3rd. They were a bottom 5 team in the NFL. C.J. Stroud comes to them, goes and gets them not only in the playoffs, but he wins a playoffs game for them.
Yeah.
And then he had a pretty good game against the Ravens in his first year. And then this guy's coming out playing like this. I mean, I feel like people shouldn't be surprised. C.J. Stroud definitely has the tools. They had a Diggs. They had a Joe Mixon.
Yeah, no, they
Like,
look,
that makes
their
the team
offense. Their offense was. I mean, and here's the thing. Like, I'm a Bears fan. I'm not glazing the Bears here, but the Bears have an elite defense.
Yes, they do.
They have an elite. I think everybody knows that they have an elite defense.
Yes, they do.
And they held the Texans to 19 points. But no, I mean, some of those throws, like, dude, it looked like C.J. Stroud was just dead to rights, like sacked. And then he scrambles out of it and makes a throw down the sideline. And I'm just like, dude, you can't beat this guy. Like, he was fantastic.
Yeah, and then he baby boyed Caleb Williams after the game. The second-year quarterback goes to the first-year quarterback. He's like, "Hey man, like it's gonna get better than this," and he had to address it because people were making fun of them.
Well, he said stop taking those hits. He said don't take those hits to Caleb Williams.
Oh yeah, when you're having no protection and Will Anderson's coming at you like this. Yeah, don't take that hit. Just get out the way.
But that's,
I
mean, no, Texans. I thought it was crazy they traded up for the 3rd overall pick. But hey, they ended up with the offensive and defensive rookie of the year last year.
Yeah.
Will Anderson is the real deal. He's insane.
Dude, he's great.
He's insane. He was in Caleb Williams' grill all night.
37 times, I believe, between him and another guy is how many times they pressured Caleb.
Daniel Hunter.
Oh yeah, and they got Hunter too. Yeah, the Texans
Could be.
definitely are going to be the playoff team. I think they win that division after what I saw against them in the Colts and then what I just saw against them in the Bears. Caleb Williams, though, I will say, he looked a lot better than from week 1 to 2, even though he threw some picks, didn't score any touchdowns. But you could tell he's working on some of the things that didn't go right week 1. And it's like even on this commercial, you look at Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had an atrocious rookie year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's Peyton Manning.
No.
Take that.
But dude, our offensive line.
It was bad, dude. It was bad.
It just seems, as a Bears fan, I'm not hitting the panic button. But I'm like,
Good team.
here's the button. I'm like right here. Because our defense is amazing.
Mhm.
Top 10 easily, maybe top 5.
Yeah. I could see the Bears being a fringe top 5.
Our skill position players, top 10.
Yeah.
Maybe top 5.
Yeah. DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet.
Our offensive line, maybe the worst in football. At this very moment, through 2 weeks in the NFL.
You know who my favorite?
What the heck?
You know who my favorite player on the Bears O-line is? I don't know how you pronounce his name, but the ref kept saying his name. It was like this or something. I think it was like false start.
Dude. Like,
Dude, you guys had like 10 false starts.
it's not even about the
It's
false
so
starts. It's the fact that
I know.
every single time Caleb Williams, like, it just seems like literally I was watching that game, like, my heart rate was moving up because he got sacked so many times. Every time I'm just like, please get up. Like, there were some hits that he took that, like, he got kind of sandwiched where I was like, oh my God. one play towards the end of the game on third down, third and 15 or whatever, or 3rd and 10 that ends up being 4th and 17.
Was that the open arm sack where he just got destroyed?
Danielle Hunter just comes in. Yeah,
that's who I thought it was. Anderson. I thought it was Anderson.
Unblocked, and just comes in full out. Press the X button on Madden. He's coming in diving, just wraps him up.
That might have been one of the cleanest sacks I've ever seen.
He didn't get touched.
No, I'm saying like contact to the quarterback. Like
well, I know, but like
destroyed him, but it was such a clean hit that
he
like
didn't get touched, which is the part where I'm just like, what are we doing? Our right guard Nate Davis should be in the Canadian Football League. We signed him from the Tennessee Titans like 2 years ago, and he is horrendous. He's horrendous.
I would consider benching him for a backup at that point.
Yes, I think they need to bench him because it's like there's videos online of him literally on a run play going out. There's 2 guys. He has 2 guys to pick from. Pick a guy, block him. He runs right in between them. He doesn't touch one of them. Mm-hmm. He looks lost. So, yeah.
Before we go on to this next game,
I'm sad because give the kid a chance. You know what I mean? Give the kid a chance. They need to figure that offensive line out.
That is true.
And if they do, they could win some games and be serious.
They're gonna win games.
They're
gonna win games. They're gonna win at least 9, I think.
They need to figure out their O-line. They got a good matchup coming up this week against the Colts, who have maybe the worst defense right now.
Yeah. Richardson just came off a stinker too.
Richardson came off a stinker.
I like Richardson.
Yeah, no, I think people had him as a potential dark horse MVP pick.
But that's the thing is just every time there was a quarterback who could run, people overhyped the living shit out of them. Do you wanna?
But he could. Shortly. He could.
I don't think he has any chance at the MVP. The way that the guy plays, I think maybe in a few years, if he irons a few things out and the team gets a little better, he has a chance. I just don't think Anthony Richardson has a chance right now. I like Richardson, but
his arm is insane.
He's a cannon. Yeah.
Cannon. His arm is insane. He's got a crazy connection going right now with Alec Pierce.
He does.
So,
Chicago fella.
They're looking good, yeah.
Fella.
I think he went to Glenbard. West.
I would say I'm from Chicago too if I was from Glenbard.
Glenbard
I wrestled
West.
there a few times. I remember it.
But yeah, no. So hoping the Bears can come back and let Caleb Williams get a little rest. You know what I mean? Like he does not need to take 7 sacks again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, gosh, frustrating. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Frustrated because we were in that game against a really good Houston Texans team.
You were in the game. That's all that matters.
The defense got a fumble in the 4th quarter on the goal line. Like
that was huge.
Huge. Yeah. And then they drove down, got a field goal, made it a 1-possession game, and they had an opportunity there with a minute 30 left to go win the game, which is all you can ask for. I think I texted you. I texted a couple of my buddies. I go, Caleb Williams has the opportunity to become a legend right now.
Yes, he did. A Chicago hero is like
the Chicago hero. Like in your second game, lead the team down. He obviously did not. But Roma Dunze should have come back on that route. That was a choice route that he made the wrong choice. So shame on you, Rome. He also dropped a touchdown.
Man.
Hit him right in the hands.
No Keenan Allen either doesn't help.
No Keenan Allen. Yeah. Rodgers is kind of dotting right now.
Rodgers has always been dotted. Rodgers is just that good. I was saying to someone earlier this week, when you have these Hall of Fame caliber guys, like someone was trying to tell me, they're like, I'd rather have Jared Goff than Matthew Stafford on my team right now. And I said, no, I'd rather have Matthew Stafford or he's old. I'm like, when you are a guy like Aaron Rodgers or Matthew Stafford, who's a Hall of Famer, a champion, a guy who just has it until they're done. Like, even if Tom Brady unretired, still, he's the guy who has it.
Yeah. You would expect him to make the playoffs.
They know exactly what they need to do to get to exactly what point they need to be.
Right.
Those guys are someone you have. Jared Goff is a glorified game manager who will win you games, but Jared Goff is really not that.
Right.
He's not spectacular, but he's not mid, but he's not good. He's like in between, where he's way above mid, where like you would want him.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's not great.
Yeah.
He's good. He's not great.
That's definitely better worded.
Yeah.
So I'll say that. Something I wanted to talk about.
You go ahead and tell the camera. I'll be right back, everybody. Don't go anywhere.
All right, yeah, we're not gonna go anywhere. So, something I wanted to talk about. I find it super fascinating. This particularly just pisses me off. It's so fucking annoying. And what it is all this hype behind Justin Fields. It's so annoying. He's 2-0 with the Steelers, and you get this idiot, Dan Orlovsky, who's talking about, what kind of decision is water wet? Like you're saying Justin Fields needs to be a starter for week 3, like he's better than Russell Wilson, when he's responsible for 1 offensive touchdown through 2 games. Like it's literally the Bears all over again. Can't score a touchdown because Justin Fields is not good. But then all of a sudden the defense carries him, and then they're going to go ahead and win games and act like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ himself? No, Justin Fields is not good. Russell Wilson is someone who's won Super Bowls, who's won, I don't know if he won an MVP or not, I don't remember, but he's at least been in the discussion. He did?
Yes.
Yeah, he won an MVP. Russell Wilson's a dog. You don't go and get a guy like Russell Wilson to bench him for Justin Fields, who scores 1 offensive touchdown on a little pop pass in 2 weeks. If those were good teams that actually put up competition, he doesn't win those games. It's like the Bears all over again. Everyone's like, "Oh, Justin Fields, he's gonna change this franchise around." Look what happened. He got run out of town, couldn't win a game, couldn't do anything. He's athletic, he can run. And again, that comes with that bias when it comes to NFL quarterbacks. Oh, he could run, he could use his legs. So that must mean he's automatically good, right? You know, the Lamar's Anthony Richardson, even though Anthony Richardson is better than Lamar in my opinion and at the higher ceiling.
That's crazy.
Anthony Richardson, I think, has a higher ceiling than Lamar Jackson because the guy actually can throw a football. Lamar Jackson, like, yeah, sure, he could sling it, do this, but he's all legs. That's why guys like Kyler Murray and Josh Allen are better than Lamar Jackson because they can throw the ball, too. They can make plays. But anyways, beyond the point, Justin Fields, I think he's a fraud. I don't know what Dan Orlovsky's smoking because I'd like to do it because it'd probably be pretty fun to think like that and just laugh at yourself the whole time, you know? But Justin Fields, I don't even want to call him a journeyman because I don't think he's going to last that long, but that guy's going to be a certified backup quarterback for somewhere, and he's going to make good money, have a good NFL career, retire with his family, be great. But Justin Fields is not the answer for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that is a given. Let's hear what you got to say about it. Cheers first.
Real quick, 3rd and goal.
Ooh!
Brees Hall got in. Good for my fantasy.
I should have taken the touchdown bet. Anyways, talking about Justin Fields being mid.
They marked him down.
Tough. He's clearly in.
Yeah, it's clearly a touchdown. Yeah. I want Justin Fields to do well. I'm a Bears guy. I'm a Bears fan. I want him to do well. But yeah, I don't think... here's the problem, though. The Steelers are 2-0.
Because of their defense. Justin Fields is responsible for 1 offensive touchdown through 2 games. So don't even try to make that argument, please. I'm begging you.
They're not going to bench him. They're not going to bench him. Until he throws up a stinker.
I mean, both games.
They won.
Because the defense.
They won, though.
There's one game where they only kicked field goals. And they won.
They're not going to bench him. I could almost guarantee that. Until, they're not going to bench him.
I kind of agree with you on that just because I think that's going to be the situation because it's like, why pull the rug from a guy with momentum? But the thing is, I don't think you could even give the momentum to him. He's not the one winning these games for them. He's not making he's not throwing 2, 3. Honestly, if each of those games he had 1 touchdown pass, 1 run touchdown, I'd be like, different story.
Yeah.
Different story. But 1 touchdown on a 5-yard toss, come on. Dan Orlovsky's an idiot.
I don't think so. I love Dan Orlovsky.
I think he's an idiot.
I don't think he's an idiot.
I remember he farted on the Pat McAfee show and they grilled him. I was
No,
watching
it was his wiper. It was his wiper blades. Yes, it was.
Bro, he let out a fucking...
You know sometimes when the wiper blades go off, they make that sound.
You ever step down on the ground with your shoe and it makes a fart sound and someone's like, dude, that's gross. And you're like, dude, it's my shoe. And they're like, all right, do it again. And then you try and you're like, dude, I swear, I can't, I swear.
But no, I respect Dan Orlovsky's takes. I think he would make a great OC in the league.
He said no.
He says yes. That dog, that's Dan Orlovsky barking out there.
That's Dan Campbell.
Yeah, that's Dan Campbell. That's Dan Campbell. But no. Look, the Steelers are 2-0. You don't switch up. I mean, yeah, they beat the Broncos. Like, the Broncos stink. Bo Nix looks bad.
I mean, none of those quarterbacks from the first round, or no quarterbacks drafted this year even threw a touchdown pass yet through 2 weeks.
Jane Daniels?
He ran them.
He ran. Yeah, no, Justin Fields is throwing up Justin Field numbers. That's what he does.
That's his ceiling.
Yeah.
That's his
That's
ceiling.
what he
You
does.
know what Fields is.
Yeah, but hey, they're 2-0.
He's better than Kenny Pickett, though, I will say.
You don't apologize for 2-0. You don't apologize for 2-0.
If I was Justin Fields, I'd apologize to the defense for making those games that close.
You don't apologize for
TJ Watt.
That's been the Steelers for as long as I've known football.
Yes, but Russell Wilson can score touchdowns.
We'll see.
Tell me he can't.
They're not going to bench him.
Tell me Russell Wilson
No, he can't.
Tell me Justin Fields is better than Russell Wilson right now and be serious.
I can't.
Okay, yeah, we're on the same page.
But I also can't tell. I'm not going to tell you that they're going to bench him. Because they're not.
I agree with you until they... I don't know, it's just... As much as I think Russell Wilson's is corny as hell because he's just funny by, like...
He's a funny character.
Broncos Nation or country, let's ride.
Yeah, let's
It was
ride.
so fun.
Let's ride.
My
He's a clown.
I like how he's dating Future's ex or baby mom. I don't know, Ciara. And
Ciara.
I know some teams they play Future when he's like warming up, which is hilarious. I would do that too.
Well,
It's a mental game.
yeah. Russell Wilson is also rich.
Yeah, he is. Russell Wilson is also, per the term, a little bitch. Hearing Marshawn Lynch talk about Russell Wilson on that thing with Shannon Sharp for about like 20 minutes, I'm like, God, that guy's such a boner. Because he said, like, you couldn't go up to Russell Wilson and be like, yo, can I get your phone number? Let's get some work in. He's like, nah, you get it from my agent.
Right.
It's like, bro, that's your teammate?
So,
Your teammate?
this is what's bringing, like,
He's a little diva.
who do you think the Steelers want to play quarterback?
Russell Wilson, because you're contending for a championship.
They're not contending for a championship.
Yes, they are. They just came off the playoffs with Kenny Pickett and Mason Rudolph, like half a skull.
They went they went one game over 500 and made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
They made the playoffs.
But they
That's
made
what
the
the Steelers do.
Yeah, but they have a chance to make the playoffs like a game or like with a better record with Russell Wilson.
They're not going to bench him. That's all I'm going to say.
Who'd they play week one? The Steelers? What was it? Yeah, who'd the Steelers play week one? Jamie, who'd the Steelers play week one?
Let me get that for you real quick, pal.
Thanks, buddy, old guy.
The Falcons. They beat the Falcons.
Oh, yeah, that Kirk Cousins put up a stinker, though. But yet again, Steelers defense. But if Kirk Cousins threw one touchdown pass, Justin Fields is now 1-1.
You don't apologize for 2-0.
I'm not asking him to apologize for 2-0. I'm just being realistic.
Let's talk about the Falcons.
I still think they're going to be a good team. And they beat
the Eagles on Monday Night Football in Philly. Great drive for Kirk Cousins at the end there. Like, there's literally nothing more that you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you see the video after he threw the touchdown. They're done off the field. He walks to the bench, and then he starts going ballistic. He's like, ah, like freaking out. I love Kirky.
That right there is the difference between young quarterbacks and veteran quarterbacks. Is the 2-minute drill. I will die on that hill. That's the difference. Because veteran quarterbacks know how to get a score to end the game. I feel like young quarterbacks really struggle with that.
It depends on who the young quarterback is, because there is that 1 in 100 guy that will go and do that.
Patrick Mahomes.
C.J. Stroud.
C.J. Stroud, Patrick, like, sure. But that is something that
Matthew
I've
Stafford.
noticed. What do you mean? He's old.
Matthew Stafford has, I think he is top 5 all time with fourth quarter comebacks.
Yeah, well, but what I'm saying, like, he's a veteran though.
I know, but I'm saying that's the guy who came into the league who just knew how to go in there and win.
But he never
Tony Romo.
never did anything in the playoffs with the Lions until he got to LA.
Yeah, but that's not a Stafford problem. That's a Lions GM problem.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is, my point stands.
I understand.
Veteran quarterbacks know how to lead a team down the field at the end of the game. How many times do we see Tom Brady do it in the last couple years of his career?
Right. It's almost like they have
Kirk
experience.
Cousins can do it. Exactly. Experience matters. But he didn't have an outstanding game. He didn't have a crazy great game. Break one off from Andre. Come on, son.
You don't need to have an outstanding game.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
But that's Tom Brady. He didn't have outstanding games, but when he needed to win a game, you were going to win that game.
Is
Is
this
it
true?
true?
Hopefully not.
Some good whiskey,
Not bad.
by the way.
Shout out Seth Handy.
Yeah.
For the bottle of Weller. Appreciate you, my boy.
Thank you, handjob.
They're calling a face mask on Ramondre.
What are you going to do? Well, speaking of veteran and young quarterbacks,
Hold on, I want to talk about that game a little bit more. Bijan Robinson is awesome.
go for it.
He's so good.
I love Bijan.
He's so good.
Cool name.
He's a
Cool.
weapon.
A number 7 at running back. That's such a cool number to have for him, too.
He's awesome. And then
Why
the other,
Nelly? He looks exactly like him.
but built.
I got murder on my
But built different. However, also in that game, Darnell Mooney.
touchdown, yeah.
Three catches, 88 yards, and a touchdown. I thought he was going to be something good for the Bears, and then last year he was just horrendous.
I think it more or less came down to who was quarterback
Right,
and the offensive scheme.
However, the year before last, so 2022, he was very close to a 1,000-yard receiving season with Fields as quarterback. So that's just saying something. But yeah, great win for the Falcons over in Philly.
That Drake London celebration, he was airing the place out.
Dude, he almost cost them big time though. He almost cost them big time because Kirk drives the team down the field at the end of the game, get a touchdown. Drake London does some stupid celebration in the end zone, makes the extra point 48 yards. The extra point to take the lead in the game. To go from 21-21 to 22-21. He does a dumb celebration, gets a 15-yard penalty, makes the extra point 48 yards.
Yeah, that's.
Could you imagine if they missed that extra point and then they lost the game?
You're right. You know what I promise you though? He's not going to do that again.
No, he better not.
He heard some. I guarantee Kirk Cousins pulled out the Kohl's cash and the chains, and then they fucking got his ass in the locker room. They said, never do that again. Woohoo!
That's Jalen. I think that's Jalen Polk.
That was a nice little juke. You can't see
No,
what
it's
I
not.
said.
It's
That's Rasul Dundee.
Yeah. But yeah, that I took I live bet Falcons money line in that game. I had them at like plus 300, and I was watching in my bet. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is how I'm gonna lose. I was like, they're gonna drive down the field, score, and they're gonna miss the extra point, and the Eagles are gonna get the ball, and they're gonna score a touchdown.
I
and
hate
not
the
gonna have a
Eagles.
chance.
I hate the Eagles.
Well, yeah, you do, because you're a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I do.
I like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a great player.
I did, but then
Watch out.
he turned into a bum really quick. Jalen Hurts.
Did they blow that play dead?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't hear the whistle. Jalen Hurts was good for a while, and I really liked him. And then he kind of turned into what he is now, where he's like Josh Allen, but worse when it comes to losing possession of the football and turning it over. So I don't know where this turnover problem happened, but I don't like when guys have turnover problems. You're just too big of a liability. That's why if Josh Allen gets it together and turns the ball over less, I'll like him more. I just hate guys who turn it over. Like, it's just annoying.
Josh Allen looks good.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he does every year, but then there's an important game where he'll fumble it 4 times and throw 2 picks.
Give me your top 3 quarterbacks right now.
Right now, to argue with a brick wall, number 1 is Patrick Mahomes.
I agree.
Based off what I've seen this season, is what you're asking, or what?
Give me your top 3.
Okay. Let me really think about this. Number 1 is Mahomes. Lamar's not even on this. I'm letting you all know. Lamar Jackson is not top 5 quarterback in the NFL. If Kyler Murray keeps playing like he is, I might have to even throw him in the conversation.
Give me your top three. I
know.
didn't ask for you to,
I'm thinking.
to do anything.
I'm thinking here. I don't want to get clipped. Because I know what's going to happen. I say something dumb. He's going to throw a laughing sound effect down there, and then he's going to pause the video, and I'm cooked. Let me really look at it. You got yours on hand right now? I gotta think. I'm gonna look at everyone just to make sure there's not like one I missed.
I got mine.
Go for it. You say it while I'm thinking.
Patrick Mahomes is number 1. Josh Allen's number 2. Lamar Jackson's number 3.
You lost me at number 3.
He's a 2-time MVP.
Not for his throwing ability.
He's a 2-time MVP. He's a 2-time MVP.
I understand.
He's a 2-time MVP. 2 times he's won the MVP. 2 times.
How many times has he won the Super Bowl?
0. How many times has Josh Allen? How many times has Joe Burrow? How many times has Dak Prescott?
Joe Burrow.
It's hard to win a Super Bowl, Brian. It's very hard to win a Super Bowl.
I know.
It's very hard.
He doesn't win his playoff games either. Lamar Jackson, the second goes to the playoffs.
Who's your top 3?
MVP's
Tell me
out.
now.
All right, I'm gonna go 1. Patrick Mahomes. Easy, given. I just want to say this on a side note: is I really
Give
do
me your
think
top
Joe Burrow is
3.
overrated. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to just throw in some dumb answer.
You're killing me here.
I know I am. Josh Allen is either at 2 or 3 based off the resurgency I've been seeing.
Thank you.
But the thing is, once he gets into these streaks where he turns the ball over, and then once he gets back into the streaks, I got to yank him from the list. So he's consistently in, out, in, out. But yeah, I can't put an 0-2 quarterback on my top 3.
I don't think you can put him in your top 3 either way. Maybe. I'm not just like doing that for argument's sake, but
I really want to, honestly, it might be a little bit of, okay, I'm going to just re-say the list just so it's all in order, just for the clip that he's going to make out of this. But my top 3 NFL quarterbacks right now are going to be Patrick Mahomes, number 1, not even a debate, argue with the wall. 2, we're going to go Josh Allen, and 3, honestly, I'm going to go CJ Stroud.
I respect that.
Honestly, what CJ Stroud is doing at his age is not many guys who are 22, 23 years old are doing that. It is unbelievable. And I'll put Dak Prescott at number 4.
He loves glazing Dak Prescott.
No, actually, I'll put Dak Prescott at 5, and I'm going to put Kyler Murray at number 4.
Okay.
I'm not even going to lie. What I saw Kyler Murray do and what I've seen him do throughout his career is pretty outstanding.
So this is more so quarterback power rankings for you.
Well, yeah, you're only as good as you are right now.
Fair.
It's like Peyton Manning won a bunch of, or sorry, not Peyton. Let's go Drew Brees. He was outstanding for years and years and years. Clearly top 5 quarterback. End of his career, as much as you want to say top 5 quarterback, he just wasn't towards the end.
I know.
It's just how it goes.
But
Kyler Murray, the only reason he was out of the discussion for a while and he's not higher up on everyone's list is because of the ACL injury.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna make a case this year that he's top 5 for sure.
Remember the Hail Murray, bro.
CJ Stroud could very well end up being the number 1 quarterback this year.
I don't think anyone overtakes Mahomes.
Mahomes has had 2 mid games.
Okay, think of what happened at the end of the last 3 seasons.
Well, what happened at the end of Sunday's game?
Huh?
I know what happened at the end of Sunday's game. He got bailed out.
Doesn't matter.
He got bailed out by a defensive pass interference call, which was pass interference.
It was clearly pass interference.
However, we've all seen the stats circulating on Twitter this week of how many times Patrick Mahomes has been bailed out on an interception by pass interference. Do you know how many times?
I don't know. How many times?
Take a guess. How many times Patrick Mahomes has thrown an interception and it's been taken back?
5 times.
16.
16? I mean, but the thing is...
That's a lot.
That's
a lot.
But when you have a guy like Mahomes who is kind of a dog... That was the commercial, Tulsa King! Where Sylvester Stallone's like, they're like, what do you know about wind turbines? He's like, all I know is they blow. I hate that commercial. It makes me irrationally angry.
Follow Behind the Banter on Twitter.
Yeah. Sometimes we tweet. Not often, but sometimes.
I'll tweet tonight.
Anyways, when you got a guy of Patrick Mahomes' talent, quality, what's going to... Oh, hey, next week, Cowboys. Thursday Night Football.
Go on, riff, buddy.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is about to shove his meaty football down.
You get a quarterback of Patrick Mahomes' talent. Everyone knows how good he is. People play a lot harder on the receivers because they know how accurate a guy like that is, how many plays a guy like that makes. So odds are there's going to be more pass interference calls. For instance, I'm just going to use the Bears just because that's what you watch the most. Caleb Williams hasn't been throwing a lot of good balls, so there's no reason to play tight and heavy on guys when the ball's like 10 yards away from catchability. But when Patrick Mahomes puts the ball in your hands almost every single time, yeah, there's going to be a lot of contact.
Well, we actually did see Caleb Williams on Sunday night make the perfect dot, and then the defender had no choice but to commit PI.
I remember that.
Towards the end zone.
He like dove into
it. Yeah, tackled him in midair. But yeah. No, I mean, yeah. If we're going off quarterback power rankings right now, Mahomes is not even in the top 3.
I mean, he won 3 Super Bowls in a row.
I'm talking about power rankings this season. You scrap, like, power rankings
Mahomes is my number 1. He wins.
Power rankings is
you win. You win.
I know, but power rankings is you scratch the past, and it's now.
Okay, so
That's
how's Lamar number 3 if he's 0-2?
He's not. I didn't say that.
You
it's
said
power
he's
rankings.
Okay, so what's your power ranking then? Go your power ranking.
My power ranking right now?
Mine's a combination.
My power ranking, CJ Stroud is number 1. Baker Mayfield's number 2. No, sorry. Derek Carr's number 1. Derek Carr, CJ Stroud, Baker Mayfield. That's your top 3 power rankings right now in the NFL. That's crazy. Derek Carr is the best quarterback.
What about
in the
Sam
NFL.
Darnold?
Clip that cat.
What about Sam Darnold?
He's
Is he number 4 in the power ranking?
But you see what like difference?
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Power ranking is you pretend that they've never played football before. It's week 1 and week 2.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
What have you got? That's power rankings.
Oh, power rankings? I mean, it's going to be similar where it's going to be...
Derek Carr's 1. There's no doubt
Baker,
about it.
I think Baker Mayfield.
Derek Carr has scored a touch or scored points every time he's touched the ball. That's number 1.
Well,
that's number 1, folks.
I was going to say my power rankings right now go Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr. Honestly, I kind of want to say Sam Darnold just because he's leading a Vikings team. He's leading a Vikings team to a spot they really shouldn't be. They just beat one of the best teams in football in the Niners.
Yeah.
Number 32 is Lamar Jackson.
Oh my God.
I can't have a guy who's 0-2.
He hates Lamar Jackson.
I don't hate Lamar.
Yeah, you do.
I just think he's overrated. Here's my opinion on Lamar Jackson. I like Lamar Jackson. He's the guy if I ever met, I'd be like, oh, like that's so cool. Like I like the guy. Seems like a great dude.
I
like
glaze him in real life.
I wouldn't glaze him.
Yes,
I would ask for a picture just because like an NFL player, and then I'd post it to our BTP gram. Like, on it. But my point being is, it's not that I hate Lamar. I just hate the fan reception of Lamar. I hate NFL fans' reception of Lamar, and it's just running quarterbacks in general. It's like Justin Fields gets all this like hype for nothing because he could run the ball. Oh my God, you could run as a quarterback. Who cares? Who cares? Josh Allen, the reason he gets the hype with the running is because he also could throw the ball. You know what I mean? Kyler Murray, he could also sling the rock.
Lamar can throw the ball.
Not that well compared to these other guys.
All right, we're done talking.
Dak Prescott had a better season last year than Lamar.
You know who's not playing well right now? Joe Burrow.
Yeah, we could agree on that.
Joe Burrow. Overrated?
Yes, I think Joe Burrow's overrated.
Joe Burrow overrated.
His social media hype is what carries him, and that's the problem with the modern day sports in general. His social media hype carries people. That's why Lamar is so overhyped. That's why Joe Burrow is so overhyped. That's why Justin Fields is so overhyped.
Justin Fields is not overhyped.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Ask any non-Bears fan with any Bears association. Just like...
He's not overhyped.
Right,
I don't think he's overhyped.
I think he is.
He made a great throw on Sunday.
He made a great throw. Good job.
He did.
A great throw. Good job.
He didn't. He made one.
A lot of quarterbacks make multiple great throws, actually.
Justin Fields is not overhyped. Sorry. The burst your bubble there, pal.
Oh, yes, he is. He's seen as a starter in the NFL. He's overhyped. Justin Fields is overhyped.
Don't apologize for 2-0.
Justin Fields is overhyped because he's seen as a starter in the NFL by fans.
I don't think he
don't
has
apologize for
enough
2-0, but the defense should be praised for 2-0, not Justin Fields.
Everyone knows that, though. Everyone knows that.
Not everyone. There's honestly some.
Everyone knows that.
There's honestly
The
some
defense is carrying
retards.
Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. All right. Anyways.
We're getting a little scary. The whiskey's taking over. We're about to start fighting.
Unbelievable.
Shat, go in the comments. Tell us what you like to see the fellas sipping on. Because I like the energy right now with my wild cherry Pepsi.
Wow,
a little bit of whiskey.
A little
but-
DC in here.
Yeah, he kept texting me. He's like, "Yo, I'm gonna bring the whiskey. You get me some DC." I'm like, "What are you talking about, Daniel Cormier?"
Good point. Let's
The
talk about
fights.
the UFC fights.
Yeah, we looked at each other. My fight of the
O'Malley
night-
got fucked.
Oh my god. Suga Sean O'Malley goes on Twitter today and he's like, I was rewatching the fight. He's like, I won rounds 1, 3, and 5. That should have been my fight. And I literally, my eyes were like, no way. Because I watched that fight, I almost fell asleep. Sean O'Malley got his ass kicked all 5 rounds.
Yeah.
All 5 rounds. All 5 rounds. He got 5-0'd.
He did. He got 5-0.
It is embarrassing that he's going on the internet talking about how he won that fight.
I don't even.
By damage.
I don't even.
What damage?
He didn't even like. O'Malley is known for his ability to end a fight, right? He's known for his ability to his knockout power, his one punch power. He was horrendous. He was horrible.
Yeah.
Divicelli. It was a boring fight because Divicelli knew how to beat O'Malley.
He just cornered him.
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
Who was in the middle of the ring the whole fight? It was Mira. It was not
wherever
O'Malley.
he wanted to go is where it went.
Like in the first round, O'Malley drew a little blood. That's about it. Divicelli was on him, on top of him, mounted the entire fight.
Yeah,
O'Malley should be embarrassed for that performance.
I agree. I could punch you.
People had the wherewithal to say he was the number 1 pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Get out of here with that bullshit.
Look,
Get out of here with that bullshit.
all I'm saying is he was tweeting about how much damage he did, and that's why he should have won some fights. I could punch you in the face 10 times in a row right now. You don't bleed. You catch one shot right on the corner of my nose that gets a vessel. It's like I clearly got you way more, but there's blood, so that
He was
means you
bleeding a
won the
little
fight.
bit. He was bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't. That doesn't mean shit.
O'Malley was on the ground the whole fight. Every round he was taken down, and Divicelli just sat on top of him. He's like, "Look, you're not gonna try and get up. I'm gonna take the round."
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
props to Divicelli because people were hating on him prior to the fight. I think O'Malley has a lot of hype around him, obviously because of his personality and whatnot. But you know what? Props to Divicelli for handling business,
the problem with like the modern UFC,
staying on business.
If you talk to someone who doesn't know much about fighting or in general or whatever, they don't understand the importance of a very solid ground game. If you have a ground game, like clearly was happening against Suga Sean, you hold him to the ground, you take control, because that basically it deters you from even throwing certain shots on offense, just because the counter to, like, a lot of guys could throw like a, say you throw like a good like 2-1, you come across with a jab, the guy just shoots on you, you're on the ground. You're not going to throw combos where you're going to leave your legs wide open. And that gives you such an edge as a wrestler, especially. It's unbelievable.
And that's what Divicelli's specialty is, obviously. And I mean, shame on O'Malley and his team for not preparing for that.
The cardio in that guy was unbelievable.
That is what he's known for.
That's what wrestlers are known for, bro.
Well, he's known for cardio. Divicelli is. There's no doubt in my mind. I think in a lot of people's mind that he has the best cardio in all of UFC.
After what I saw, I might have to agree.
He has the best cardio in all of the UFC, and that guy does not get tired. He's like an Energizer bunny, and being in the position that O'Malley was is exhausting because you're trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Your mind's racing. You're getting tired, trying to fight, trying to get good position.
You're thinking too much.
You're thinking too much.
You're thinking with 4 limbs instead of 2.
You're mentally exhausted and you're physically exhausted. And Divicelli's on top just like laughing.
I'm telling you. So I wrestled in high school. I did a little BJJ. I did Muay Thai. Each concept is different entirely. Because when you're wrestling, you're just thinking about takedowns, everything. You know, I boxed a little bit. It's just 2 hands. And then once you get 4 hands, like Muay Thai, it goes from 2 legs, 2 knees, 2 elbows, arms. You think about everything. And once you get a guy who's not as good as you on the ground, and you have him thinking about everything there, like you could see how much O'Malley hesitated. That guy just, it was complete mental warfare right there where he was just completely owned. Because that guy, like you could just, it was unbelievable.
He got owned.
Terrible fight for O'Malley.
Dude. The worst fight he's ever had. I mean, for sure, the worst fight he's ever had.
That was a bad card in general, in my opinion.
Well, okay. It was Mexican independence.
Oh my God, they could not knock the Mexicans out.
Well, that's what it was.
They wouldn't go to sleep. They wouldn't get knocked out. It was unbelievable.
It was all the fights were Mexicans.
Yeah,
so,
they don't want to lose.
No, well, not on their. I mean, obviously they're hyped up. They're fighting in the Sphere, which was awesome.
It was cool.
That was so cool. Even just watching, like, as I said, I was on a golf trip last weekend, and we didn't have great Wi-Fi, so like me and my buddy were trying to stream it on our phones, and like, and we'd have it for 5 minutes, and somebody's would cut out, and then I'd go over like, dude, you gotta refresh yours, and watch on his, and then it was going back and forth, back and forth. But even just watching on my phone, it literally felt like the screen was coming. You know what I mean? Like the Sphere was like coming off.
Awesome.
Like it was crazy.
I watched right where I'm sitting. How many fights did you watch?
I only got to watch 2.
Did you watch Ribovich?
No, I only got to watch.
Oh my God, best fight of the night.
I only got to watch the 2 belt fights.
Ribovich was getting his ass kicked round 1. He ended up getting a pretty tight round 2, where it was pretty much 1-1 down to the 3rd, and he went nuts. But the guy, I don't know what nationality. I'm pretty sure the guy he was fighting was Mexican. So that's again the whole knockout would happen.
Because every fight featured a Mexican.
Dude, I swear to God, it was probably about 20 shots straight, like missile right to the guy's jaw, where it looked like he was like wiggling, like I don't know how he didn't get knocked out, but Ribovich was whooping his ass for the whole 3rd round. It was like one of those fights where you stand up and you're. The last time I was that excited for a fight is when Max Holloway fought a couple months ago, and he's pointed to the center of the ring, and I'm like, oh shit.
That's the BMF.
Yeah, dude, it's so sick.
It's
so sick. I love that.
Holloway has a fight coming up too.
We gotta watch that.
Yeah, every man. I mean, in my opinion, there's not much better than watching some UFC fights.
If they're good, a good card and a bad card are 2 entirely different things.
But you don't know about you don't know about
you don't know
until
you see it. Yeah,
exactly.
Of course. But that's what I'm saying. It's just the experience in general.
Did you buy it or did you stream it?
What do you think? You know what I will say? The UFC solves all their streaming problems if they make every fight $10 to $20 on pay-per-view, uninterrupted, no ads. Everyone would buy that. But instead, they make these outrageous prices. No, like, I'm going to stream. Get fucked in a way.
Or I'm going to go to a bar. You know what I mean?
I'd rather watch in my house.
But if it's on though, when we went to Theory, that was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. With the fellas. But it's like when you got all those girls and stuff with you who have no clue about UFC, and they're trying to talk to you about some bullshit while you're watching fights, it's like, get out of here.
What did they call it there?
I don't know. Anyways, I thought it was a bad card.
Well, it was
a few good fights.
It was featuring all. I mean, like they did it for a reason. Every fight featured a Mexican fighter. Obviously, the matchups weren't ideal, but you know what? It is what it is. It was cool in the Sphere. I hope they do it again.
Of course.
Hope they do it again. I think a lot of people anticipated the Divicelli O'Malley fight to be better than it was, so that was kind of an L on itself.
Me being one.
You're right. I think a lot of people expected O'Malley to go crazy. Fuck Suga Sean O'Malley. He's overrated. I've always thought that.
I did text in our group chat. Our group chat name is the Cum Boys. I said everyone read Suga Sean. He's like, nah, don't do it. I should have listened.
I told them. I told the fellas.
But I like Suga Sean. But when you pull some bullshit out of pettiness, which was today, where you were talking about how you won rounds 1, 3, and 5 after the entire world watched you get your ass kicked for. Just admit you lost. Go to the gym, get better, dude. No one's gonna hate you for that.
It's crazy.
No one is gonna hate you for losing. No one. Just be like, I
No.
sucked. I need to get better. Simple as that.
Everybody's gonna respect you 10 times more if you say, you know what, I got my ass beat.
Exactly my point.
I got my ass beat. He manhandled me, but you know what? I'm gonna learn from this. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna take that belt from him again.
Yeah.
There will be a rematch.
Yeah,
there will be a rematch.
Last time a dude came on your back, you learned from it, and
Yeah,
you didn't make the mistake again.
There will be a rematch between Divishelli and O'Malley. Mark my words. Mark them.
Yeah,
If we're watching this, Aaron Rodgers is converting every third down.
Dude, Aaron Rodgers is built like that. People count him out because of the injury and his age, but like a guy like this will be good till he's 45 if he wanted to.
But
if he wanted to.
If he wanted to. The other last thing for the UFC, John Jones is fighting.
I love John Jones.
John Jones is fighting Stipe Miocic.
My cocaine bookie.
Stipe Miocic is 40 years old. John Jones is old too.
John Jones is one of the best fighters, probably the best pound for pound fighter of all time.
Yep. No argument there.
That's Izzy style. He's a Chicago product. He's an Illinois product. He wrestled Izzy style. I don't know if you know what Izzy style is. Holly Holm did that too. It's a wrestling gym. I had some friends in high school who did that. Yeah, John Jones, certified dog.
What about Khabib though?
Pound for pound?
All time.
Dude, John Jones is a good wrestler.
Khabib is the best ever.
I still have John Jones just because, John Jones is very, 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 very good at wrestling. He would put up a fight, but his striking is so much better.
Well, they obviously can't fight because they're in two completely.
I know, pound for pound. I'm saying if you theoretically were to like put them at the same size.
Khabib never lost.
Yeah, I get it. I still think John Jones is the best pound for pound. John Jones, his only loss was a DQ, though, I thought.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure his only loss was a DQ for some bullshit.
But it's a tough one. Khabib. I mean, you can't.
They're family, bro.
You can't argue with. You can't argue with undefeated.
I guess. I mean, in boxing, you can. I think, because the way boxing works is you pick your opponents in boxing. Like Floyd Mayweather, I hate boxing. He barely ever picks.
I hate boxing. Boxing sucks. UFC is where it's at.
Boxing's cool.
No, it's not.
It's a sport, but to watch it, it's ass.
It's rigged. Like, yeah, as you said, they get to pick their fights.
Yeah, they get to pick it. That's why Floyd Mayweather went undefeated like that. Conor McGregor almost beat him. Remember how good that fight was? That was one of the best boxing matches I've ever seen.
Well, I mean, at least did Pacquiao Mayweather fight?
A few times.
Yeah. So that's at least something. But like, yeah, boxing is so dumb. You got like guys like Jake Paul and fucking whatever.
That's not boxing anymore. That's like celebrity shit.
It's celebrity. But
the John Jones family. The boy Chandler Jones, Mr. CTE. Remember when he got naked and he posted that picture and like you saw his cock in the fucking reflection? I can't believe they're related. When I found that out, that was fucking.
Chandler Jones went off the rails.
They have a brother who was also in the NFL. I just don't remember his name.
Really?
Dude, they're athletes.
How interesting.
Right?
But yeah, that was great for Divishelli, bad for O'Malley.
Bad card. Rebovich, dog.
I love UFC. Nothing better than watching UFC with fellas.
I think we have one more football point we missed. This isn't even something we should really talk about too much, but it's Bryce Young got benched for Andy Dalton. I mean, everyone knows how ass that guy's been. Anything you gotta say?
Yeah.
I feel like this is a topic beaten like a dead horse. So.
Mismanagement by the Panthers.
Yeah, I'd say so. Beyond that, I got two MLB things. You want to
let's banter a little bit about this.
Bryce Young sucks. We're gonna say he sucks. They're gonna say he sucks. Everyone says he sucks.
Okay. Is it his fault or is it the Panthers' fault?
I think a little bit of both.
I think it's the Panthers.
I think it's like a 75-25 clip.
Dude, the Panthers owner, David Tepper.
Yeah, he sucks.
He sucks.
You see the video of Tepper going to that bar where they said they hate the Panthers or whatever, and he like bitches them out.
I feel bad for Bryce Young.
I don't think he was ever gonna be good.
I feel bad for Bryce Young because I think that this is the argument that that every NFL personality, blah, 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 talks about.
Mm-hmm.
Do you start your rookie quarterback week 1? Or do you sit him for a season or 2? He missed it.
Ooh, Shank. That was a bad miss.
I don't know if they got tipped or not, but do you sit your rookie quarterback for a season or 2? Tom Brady?
Well, Tom Brady was a 7th round pick.
Different. Obviously, I understand that.
No tip. Just a straight miss.
However, we had Tom Brady, we had some clips of him this week talking about the situation where he goes, look, I was in college. I sat for a couple years. I learned the system. I learned how to be a quarterback. I went to college in Michigan. We had a pro-style system. I learned how to be a quarterback in the NFL. Obviously, he did not expect to be Tom Brady, per se. However, the point still stands where he goes, look, I had time to learn. Where somebody like Bryce Young did not.
Mm-hmm.
Where Alabama is not a pro-style system.
Alabama is not QBU. Not even close.
Alabama is not a pro-style system, and Bryce Young came from Alabama, not a pro-style system, into the NFL. He was asked to start week 1. He wasn't ready. He still is not ready. I think
it's the team that he.
I personally think that's part of it as well. If Bryce Young sits the rest of the season behind Andy Dalton, he gets the jitters out of him. Because he's been getting blown up. I mean, the Panthers stink as a team. I think that if he sits around that team, he sits behind him, he learns, he could become a starting quarterback in the NFL.
I mean, I'd like to see him get a shot. I don't want to see a number 1 pick not get a shot. That is kind of a dot. That's a good throw.
Exactly. And here's the thing. He will get another chance.
Of course.
He will get another chance.
You don't take a guy number 1.
Sam Darnold.
I know. I'm saying as a GM. No, Sam Darnold was number 3.
Doesn't matter. But the point still stands.
My point being is, as an NFL GM who takes a guy number 1 overall, you are not going to let that guy go out without proving he was not the guy. You know what I mean? You're going to let that guy go until he sucks enough to bench him.
I think somebody might trade for Bryce Young this year.
I don't think so.
Dolphins.
That's quite the take.
Dolphins.
Yeah, no, come on. That's like a conspiracy theory, if anything.
Why would they not?
Why would they?
What if...
I mean, his value is all-time low. Yeah,
Dolphins go to the
third round
Panthers.
pick does it.
Not even. Dolphins go to the Panthers and say, hey, here's a 4th round, 5th round pick.
Here's Tua and his half-brain cell.
No, not Tua. Here's a 4th round pick. Give us Bryce Young. Panthers get to move on. They probably get the number 1 pick in the draft this year. They get Quinn Ewers or whoever they want.
Quinn Ewers, number 1?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Who's your number 1 quarterback in college?
Arch Manning.
He's not going to go.
Quinn Ewers isn't even the number 1 on his team.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't. Arch Manning's better. Come on,
well, he's not starting.
He is this week.
Because Quinn Ewers got hurt.
He earned it.
Arch Manning has come in and played in the 3rd quarter against Scrubs.
I'm messing around. Hey.
Arch Manning is unproven. Who knows? He could be great.
A Manning with mobility.
In my opinion, Quinn Ewers, okay, whatever. Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, Shedeur Sanders, whoever you want. Panthers get to say, all right, we're going to ride. We're done with Bryce Young. We're going to ride Andy Dalton this season. Hopefully, in the owner's minds, whatever, we get the number 1 pick again. We get to restart. Fresh slate. Quinn Ewers, Shedeur, Carson Beck, whoever you want.
Shedeur is not even close to
whoever you want. Whoever you want. That's what I'm saying, though.
They want.
Their option is open. The Dolphins get Bryce Young for a 3rd round pick. Mike McDaniel, offensive-minded coach. Who knows what could happen?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what could happen?
Not me, certainly.
That's not a conspiracy theory. I think that's a good idea for the Dolphins.
I think it's a little far-fetched, but it's not a bad idea.
I think the Panthers are all but done with Bryce Young. I think they're ready to move on.
Dude, it's been a year and a half. Not even.
And he's got benched. What do you think they do?
You let Andy Dalton play and you let him sit on the bench for a bit. You don't give up on a guy this early.
And then what?
You build a better team around him so he doesn't die every time he drops back.
So he sits the whole year?
Not the whole year. You just, as a GM, you have the determination to be like, hey, you know, maybe this guy gets the jitters out, like you said. He sits down, he relaxes. You could see kind of where his head's at.
And then what? He comes back in week 13 and he plays the same as he did for the next 4 weeks, and then what?
Well, you don't know how.
Now you're going to draft a quarterback anyway.
I think you put weapons around a guy like that before you give up on him.
He has Adam Thielen. He has Deontay Johnson.
Shut up. Don't act like those are weapons.
Adam Thielen had a great year last year.
Yeah, Adam Thielen, but you said Deontay Johnson in the same sentence as Adam Thielen.
Deontay Johnson's good.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
No, he isn't.
Yes, he is.
He's a solid number 3.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's a
He's
good number
good.
3. Adam Thielen is pretty good. I will admit that.
Deontay Johnson would be the number 2 on the Cowboys.
No, not over Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, he would.
Over Brandon Cooks?
Yeah, he would.
No.
He would.
You be real, dude.
I'm not. I mean, I am being real.
All right.
That's my theory, though. Panthers should trade Bryce Young and then just draft another quarterback because you've ruined whatever you had with him.
I mean, you could. But does that conclude football for the day?
Not quite. One last thing.
All right.
So we have week 3 coming up. Lock of the week.
I need to look at the schedule.
Lock of the week, and then we're gonna give our lock of the week.
The Jets.
Okay. we're talking spread. Okay, we're talking spread.
Chargers, Steelers.
And then we're gonna do trap of the week.
Ooh. I think plus 1.5 Chargers is pretty good. I think they win outright.
That's your.
That is not. I need to look at everything.
So we're gonna do lock of the week and then trap line of the week.
Okay. I don't have FanDuel. I'm on ESPN.
I know. You just whatever. Look up the odds.
Panthers, Raiders. I'm gonna go -5 Raiders as the lock of the week over the Panthers.
See, I hate that line. I hate that line. I think that's my trap of the week.
Raiders over Panthers?
Yes, that's my trap of the week.
Nah, dude.
The Panthers are going to be so much better with Andy Dalton at quarterback. That's your lock.
You know the Cowboys are favored over the Ravens?
I'm not surprised.
-1, +1.
Yeah, probably like 1. Yeah.
Well, no, it's weird because actually no, the Ravens are favored. My bad. I switched that up. Oh my God! Actually, no, never mind. The Lions are -3 over the Cardinals. That's what I think about this year. I think my trap of the week might be the 49ers -6.5 over the Rams.
The Rams are depleted.
Yeah, but so are the Niners.
They are, yeah. That's a good one.
And
That's
it's a division game.
It's a good one.
-6.5. It's gonna come down. Actually, it just shifted to -7. As I said that. So.
So which one's the trap? The Niners minus.
Niners -7. I think. I think if it comes, it's gonna come down to it's a division game, dude. Come on.
My trap of the week. It's disgusting. But it is the Raiders -5.
You think that's the trap? That's
Yeah.
my lock.
Dude, that's the trap of the week.
Dude, Tuffy McGee.
That's the trap of the week. Everybody and their mother is going to be betting on the Ravens.
I guess.
Or the Raiders, sorry. And the Panthers are going to... I think Andy Dalton is going to... I mean, he's a serviceable quarterback. He's nothing special. But the Panthers have had absolutely horrendous quarterback play. I think the team's kind of be a little bit juiced up to be like, all right, we got somebody else in there. The Raiders, I don't think are all great. They kind of had a fluky win against the Ravens.
Fluky.
I mean, the Ravens had an opportunity to put the game away and they blew it. However,
if Lamar is better,
trap of the week. Trap of the week. You heard it here first. Raiders -5. Watch the Panthers cover. Watch the Panthers maybe win.
No, shut up.
Watch the Panthers win that game.
They're not gonna win. You want to make a bet right now?
Well, I mean, I might as well do it on FanDuel. Get plus odds.
Go fuck yourself.
I will.
Fuck yourself.
I might as well do it on FanDuel.
I get plus odds. Go fuck yourself. What if I give you plus odds?
So what if the Raiders win?
We each bet $20, but if you win, I give you 30. If I win, you give me 20.
I think I get better odds on FanDuel than that.
All right, let's just tell me your lock of the week, dude.
My lock of the week. Who was your lock of the week?
Were you not paying attention to me?
No, I wasn't. I was not paying attention.
I need to double down and check. Oh, my trap of the week was the Niners. My lock of the week was exactly what you were talking about. The Raiders minus 5. Yeah, for a second I was like, wait, like that's what you just said. It tripped me up for a sec.
You know what's an interesting line? The Saints are -3 over the Eagles in Philly.
You know what an interesting line is?
What?
Hey T, you hear what I said? How long did it take to make the guy come?
You know what I said, T? I said, how long did it make the guy come?
Hey, I said, you remember your first blowjob?
Yeah.
How long did it take to make the guy come? You hear what I said? Hey T.
That's a good one.
Yeah, so what's your lock?
My lock of the week. I think it might be the Bears.
Bears.
+1.5 at home versus the Colts. Come on. No, sorry, away against the Colts. The Colts have given up the most rushing yards by far. The Bears are looking to try and get their running game established. Anthony Richardson looks shaky, and especially coming up against a really good defense.
Shake that ass, Greg.
I think Anthony Richardson is going to commit at least one turnover. I think this is the game that the Bears have the opportunity to light up that offense.
Okay.
And then that's my lock, but my secondary lock is the Seahawks.
It's only one you get.
I know it's only one I get, but you heard it here. Seahawks are -4.5 versus the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson.
We should track this every week.
We should. Yeah, we will. We will.
That one. So my lock of the week is Raiders -5, which is his trap.
Yes.
And then my trap is the 49ers -7. It just seems like a trap to me.
So you think that the
I think the Rams cover.
I think the Rams cover. I think the Bears cover, and I think the Panthers cover. He thinks the Raiders cover. So we'll mark that down and we'll digest what happened next week.
Before we finish up, because I know we're running probably our longest cast at this point.
Yeah, but I think we have a little baseball news.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was writing my notes this morning. I said Shohei Ohtani is almost at a 50-50 season, which put him at the first in MLB history.
He is at a 50-50 season.
He started today it was at 48-48, and now he's 51-51. He hit 3 homers, 10 RBIs today, and had like 2 or 3 stolen bases. So just like that guy is the greatest guy we've ever seen in our entire life. That is a jersey that needs to come up on this wall at one point or another. Once I get a place and I get a podcast studio set up in there, Shohei Ohtani autographed jerseys in there. Greatest player we've ever seen in our lifetime.
In our lifetime, 100%.
Ever.
In me and Brian's lifetime, 100%. Yeah, he's insane. And I feel like people sleep on the fact that he has 50 stolen, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't think that.
I think he just challenged himself. He woke up, he's like, might as well try to steal bases. No,
Like,
Ohtani sneakily steals bases.
I know. Like, under the radar, kind of, and then now he's at a 50-50 season.
He has the most efficient 40-40 season of all time, too.
I think we're pretty locked in, though, with NL MVP.
It's Ohtani and Judge.
It's Ohtani and Judge, right?
It's not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even
Bobby Witt's like runner-up for AL.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know Cleveland and the Yankees both clinched playoff spots this week, so that's
the
pretty
Brewers.
Cool. The Brewers, I saw they had the little cart with non-alcoholic
For
beers,
Jackson
20-year-old Cheerio. Yeah, that was cool.
They put it in a stroller.
Yeah, but for all these MLB fellas, we're gonna get way more into it in the playoff push.
Oh, 100%,
playoff time.
100%.
It's just it's hard when I am a fan of the worst baseball team, probably all time.
Not even probably. I think they're gonna break the record.
Well, something I read today is Ken Rosenthal had an expose article about them, basically saying Jerry Reinsdorf is the mastermind behind everything. He has all the poll decisions, loyalty, all this bullshit. We knew that. But it turns out, if you know anything about analytics, TrackMan is something that a lot of stadiums use. And it turns out the Sox had TrackMan, they bought it, but they also invented their own analytics system. And that caused a lot of beef in their analytics department because you'd have these guys who use what everyone else does to draft, scout, do all this. And then you had a bunch of idiots who made their own system. And they're like, yeah, just jam sinkers like down and away. That's okay, no worries. And then the pitcher gets lit up and they're like, yeah, just work on your command. That's it. Like, these guys are a bunch of fucking idiots. And you wonder why they're the worst team of all time. It's because Jerry Reinsdorf needs to die. And then everyone else in the entire franchise in the back office is a bunch of idiots. It's just depressing, and it's so hard to watch the sport that you truly love more than anything else, which is baseball. I like baseball more than anything.
It's almost over.
It just sucks that my team is so bad that all the joy has been sucked out of me, and it really hurts. So just expect if the Sox get better at any point, we'll talk about more baseball. But I mean, I guess he is the Cubs. They're not gonna make it, but they're jerking him. They're edging him a little bit. But I mean, it sucks.
I went to the Cubs game on Monday night. I sat in the W Club. That was awesome. I got a ball.
Yeah, he didn't give it to a kid either. He texted me, he's like, I got a ball. And I laughed at him with the nerd emoji and the finger up. I'm like, didn't even give it to a kid. I know that hurt you.
Dude, I mean, there was... if you're not familiar with the W Club is right on the left field line. Right next to where the outfield
the right field
boy
line
sits.
left next to the outfield side, yeah.
Yes, the left field line next to where the ball boy sits. Like, you know how in that...
Yeah, right field line left of where the ball boy sits.
Left field line.
Yeah, right field line left of where the ball boy sits.
Shut up. Left field line.
Right field line.
Fabian. Everyone knows Fabian. If you're a Cubs fan, you know Fabian.
Nibin Fair.
Sox fans have nobody because nobody goes to the game. You want a ball at a Sox game, you go get it. They're just sitting in the stadium because it's empty. Nobody picks them up.
Yeah.
that's true. There's probably 10 balls sitting around U.S. Cellular Field.
I got 2 for you on your forehead if you keep talking.
And here we go. So I'm sitting here, first row, left field line. Here's the ball boy. We're bantering all game, having a great time. All the kids are coming down. Oh, it's my birthday. Give me a ball. Give me a ball. He's handing out balls like nobody's business. And then at one point, me and my buddy are sitting right there, minding our own business, shooting shit. He gets the ball, he just flips it. We're like, all right, cool. Hands it to us. Everybody got a ball. Everybody that wanted a ball got a ball. I got a ball. Pretty cool.
I can't hate though.
No,
I can't hate.
It's cool.
I got a story though. We were at a Sox game. Because you know, everything reminds me of her. I was on a date with my now current ex-girlfriend. And we were sitting by the away dugout. It was against the Twins.
Ugly breakup, by the way.
Not really.
I'm joking.
My morals got questioned. That's all I know. Yeah. And if you know me as a person, that's some nonsense. Anyways, it was a Sox Twins game. Sox went on a walk-off, hit in the wrist, bases loaded, Jose Abreu.
Wow.
I miss you, Pito, right there. He's there forever and always. But Gavin Sheets hit a base hit to the center field. And they give it to the authenticator who's sitting at the end of the home or away team dugout. And I'm like, hey. And he turns, he looks at me. I'm like, yo, it's the only time I'm going to ask. I'm like, can I get that ball? And he throws me the authenticated single ball from Gavin Sheets. And I just tucked it in my pocket.
Exactly.
I'm like, fuck them kids, bro. They're not going to get shit.
I want that ball. Dude, I'll take one. I've never gotten a ball at an MLB game before, so that was cool. But the W Club is awesome because it's like you get access to shout out to my company. They hooked me up with some tickets and you get access to like a whole under the left field. Mm-hmm. There's a whole open buffet and bar, so you get like free drinks, free food. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like the home plate club.
Yeah, and it's like front row, so it's fantastic. It's right where the netting ends, so you have a perfect unobstructed view of the field.
Oh, that's sick.
So it was cool. And then the Cubs won. They won big time versus the A's, so that was a great game.
Yeah. Shout out.
Yeah, they are edging me. They are not going to make the playoffs.
They're gonna get there sooner than later though.
I know.
They're doing it right though. They didn't sell off everyone.
You know what screwed us this year?
Huh?
You know who I'm blaming not making the playoffs on one guy?
Kyle Hendricks?
No.
Oh.
Hector Neris.
I mean, I would blame it on the GM because Hector Neris got save opportunities because you have no one else.
I blame
GM probably.
I blame not making the playoffs on Hector Neris.
Okay.
Because the Cubs from August to September have been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Hot. Everybody's hitting. Pitching is doing well. what happened in May is disgusting. We blew like 10 games.
Yeah.
In May. In
Shout
1
out.
month.
Shout out Talk to a podcast.
I hate that she has fame.
I love the name though. The Talk to a.
Talk
That
to
is
a is
such a
good.
good name.
Talk to is good, but like, why does she? Why?
I mean, if that was us, we would do the same thing.
I know, but like, why? Like, come on.
She seems like a really nice girl.
Yeah, she seems great.
I mean, she doesn't seem like one of those piece of shits like all the other
No,
influencers. She seems like someone if you met, you'd be like, oh wow, like you leave talking.
But the
to
fact
them,
that
like,
she has her own podcast for literally saying, oh,
I would do
it.
it. I would do it too. I would do it too.
Well, you know, you'd be spitting on that thing.
Dude, what do you think we're about to
And
do?
I think that about ends the podcast.
It's time to do a on that thing.
Cheers.
I'm empty. All right, yeah, this is longest cast to BTB history. So it's time for the dap. Do I need headphones in or out?
No.
I gotta piss like a racehorse, so let's get this going. Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. Nope.
You didn't even like.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
No.
Yo!